Hello, all you beautiful people. Today I'm going to make a peach cobbler. And this is a very quick and simple recipe, but a recipe does not have to be complicated to be good. And this is so good. Okay, let's turn around here to the counter. And let's start putting this recipe together. Now, first of all, what I want to put in my bowl is 1 cup of sugar. So let me get my sugar. And I am just almost out of sugar. So I'm going to have to buy some more here. Okay, that one wasn't quite full. Let me add a little bit more. All right, got 1 cup of sugar. Now what we want to add is some self-rising flour. The original recipe calls for 1 cup of self-rising flour. I like to add just a little bit less than 1 cup, so that would be called a scant cup. That means a little less than 1 cup. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little less than 1 cup. Like that. I'm going to add that in there. Now, we want to mix this up real good. Get this flour mixed up into the sugar, and that will help the flour not to lump so badly once we start adding liquid to it. Now, I'm making this cobbler today with peaches, but you can use other fruit as well. I have made this recipe with blackberries. I've made it with pears. I'm sure that you could make it with apples if you wanted to, and you could make it with blueberries if you wanted to. All of it would be good. So you can just kind of choose the fruit that you want and make this cobbler. Okay, we're about to get this ready. Now, the next thing we want to add to this, here we are. We got it stirred up real good. And the next thing that we want to add to this is milk. We need 1 cup of whole milk. I'm going to add this a little bit at a time to try to keep it from lumping up. So here's my 1 cup. Just going to pour a little bit in and stir that in. All right, and we'll pour a little more in. We're just going to pour a little bit at a time until we can get this stirred up nicely. Once we kind of get everything stirred up, then we can go ahead and add the rest of the milk. All right, can you see that? That's looking good. All right, so we should be able to add the rest of this milk. Stir that in good. A little bit of this stuck on the edge of this spoon. Let me get it off. Okay. Let's get this milk stirred in here real good, and then we'll add our next ingredient. Now, I'm not going to roll out a pastry crust for this cobbler. You can do that. That would be an old-fashioned cobbler, which is very good. It's wonderfully good. And I've got on my channel, I show you how to make a blackberry cobbler with pastry. A pie crust bottom and then lattice on top. And that's very delicious. That's very tasty. But this is just something quick and easy. but it still is very flavorful. Okay, so I've got this all mixed up together. See that? Now the next thing we want to add is 1 stick of butter, melted butter. I've got it melted right here. I'm going to pour that in. I've also got on my channel how to make the homemade pie crust, never fail pie crust, and I've got several pies on there. I've got a coconut cream pie, a chocolate meringue pie, a lemon meringue pie. All of those are old-fashioned pies that you make from scratch from the crust up, and they're really good. Okay, we're just getting this butter stirred in here real good. And we will only be just another 2 or 3 minutes till we'll be ready to put this into the oven. All right, now we want to pour this into our casserole dish. I've got that right here. This is one of my Corningware casserole dishes with the cornflowers, the blue cornflowers on the front, which I love. Blue's my favorite color, and I love to use my Corningware. All right, we've got this stirred up real good. We're going to go ahead and pour this into the Corningware dish. Scrape everything out of my bowl. All right, there we go. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to take a can of peaches. This is Del Monte peaches, sliced peaches in heavy syrup. So that's what you want. You want sliced peaches in heavy syrup. And I'm just going to spoon these peaches out and set them over here in this Corningware dish. Just kind of spread them out in the dish. This peach it needs to be trimmed up a little bit. Set it over to the side. I might just eat that one. This is, let me see how many ounces this is. This is 29 ounces. All right, almost got all the peaches out of here. Just spreading them out nicely throughout this casserole dish. All right, I've got all the peaches. Now I'm going to pour some of this juice. I may use it all. I'm not sure, but I'm going to pour some of it into the dish. Okay, I think that's enough. I've got maybe 1/4 cup of juice left in here. All right, we're ready. Let me see if I can hold this up where you can see it. That is what it looks like, just like that. And it's ready to go in the oven. I've got my oven preheated to 375 on bake 375. So let me go open the door and then I'll come back and get my casserole dish. because I'm going to have to hold this cobbler with both hands. We're going to slide it in. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let that cook until it's nice and brown on top, and that may take about an hour. So the peach cobbler's been cooking about an hour, and it's ready. We're going to pull it out of the oven. Okay, here it is. Right here. All right, let me set it on the counter. Shut my oven door. Okay, I'm going to dip some of that up in a bowl. It forms a nice crust on top, and then it thickens up to make a nice thick filling as well. See that? See that filling there? And there's the crust on top. All right, I've got me some in this bowl here. And I'm going to, you can see the steam coming off of it. It's just fresh out of the oven. So I'm going to let this cool down just a little bit because I'm going to put some vanilla ice cream with it. And if I put the vanilla ice cream in it right now, it'll just totally melt it. So I'm going to let this cool down on just a tad and then eat it with some vanilla ice cream. This will be my little dessert after my supper tonight. Okay, that's all for now. And y'all come back real soon.